Let's talk a little bit about vision. I believe that most network marketing companies, I've watched a lot of companies launch, and there are some good companies. Most companies, as they get started, they struggle. And the reason why they struggle is because they don't have a real vision. This is our vision. I want to read it to you right now, and I want all of you to make a note of it. It's also available in your back office, on the websites, etc. But you should practice writing this down. And I'll tell you why. Because I want this vision to be your vision. Our vision is to spark a global economic movement and lead the revenue-sharing revolution while empowering people around the globe to look good, feel good, and live good. How many of you think, and you may not want to raise your hand, but how many of you think that actually companies that have vision statements like this are kind of cheesy? And I'll be honest with you, most of the time, that's what I have felt. Most of the time when I see a vision like this, I'm like, man, somebody spent a lot of time and got paid a lot of money to write down some very pretty words. That's usually the case. I'm confident that most companies have a vision, but that vision is not really heartfelt. Let me tell you why this vision is heartfelt. Because we truly do want to spark an economic movement. And what is that economic movement? Well, I'm going to share that with you. There's a lot of Fortune 500 companies out there right now, and if you look at the way most companies are built, isn't it true that most of the people at the top make all the money? No, am I right? Most of the executives, the president, the CEO, they're making all the money. And other people make money too, but it's not as fair. And the economic movement that we really want to promote is fairness. And I truly believe that you will see as you begin to enjoy and share and learn about JubyRev, JubyMax, you're going to see that we have the most fair, the most exciting compensation plan on the planet. Now, we do that with what's called the revenue sharing revolution, the revenue sharing model. How many of you have heard of revenue sharing before? Have you seen revenue sharing before? It's powerful. It's powerful. What I haven't seen is anybody use revenue sharing to actually do what all businesses are charged to do. Does anybody know what businesses are charged to do? There's only one reason a business exists. Does anybody know what that is? Okay, make a profit. That's good. What else? What are the other things a business is charged to do with? It's not a trick question.
Bring value to customers.
Bring value to customers. The only purpose of a business is to profitably deliver quality products and services to the marketplace at a price point that consumers will purchase those products and services even without the opportunity attached. That's bold. That's what separates a winning company from a company that is nothing more than hot air. The revenue sharing model is the most powerful revenue sharing, the most powerful compensation plan I've ever seen. And the reason is because it is so fair. And the reason is because it gives Joe Average and Susie Average an actual opportunity they would never have had anywhere else. Let me tell you what's unfair about most companies' compensation plan. The leaders, just like the Fortune 500 companies, do one thing. Let me tell you what those leaders do. They make all the money. Because in most compensation plans, only the leaders are getting paid because they're the ones bringing in results. And that is fair to some extent, but what about all the other promoters that are not bringing in as many results, but they are helping build the brand? Now let's think about that for a moment, because what I just said is very key. Of course, if you're a leader here and you're bringing in results, there's absolutely no doubt you're going to have an opportunity to earn and earn big, make no mistake. But if you have promoters that are coming up, if we're going to be a company that actually wants to build and inspire the next generation of leaders, then don't we have to make sure that as they're coming up, they have a fair chance at making a little money too? Joe Average, Susie Average. But how do we do that? Well, we have the only compensation plan on the planet that is designed to do one thing, to reward people who promote by helping us build our brand, as well as to reward promoters who are also getting results, and they actually have an opportunity to earn a little bit more. So what's fair? If you're promoting, you get an opportunity to earn. If you're promoting and getting results, you get an opportunity to earn more. If you're just buying products, you're not going to earn anything, because that means you're a customer. And that's what separates our company from other companies. Really important, okay? So let me ask you a question. If I could honestly show you a way to place an ad online and give away free product samples, and in exchange you could actually get a share of our company's daily revenues, would that help you? How many of you understand the power of that question? How many of you understand that that is a question that you can take to the marketplace? That is a question that you can actually empower your teams with. That question scales. If you don't have a question that scales, you don't have a company that scales. That one slideshow right there proves to me that we have an epic opportunity, an opportunity where we will only be limited by our spirits, by our willingness to dream big, to take big action, to achieve big, and we will only be limited by the number of leaders that we have in our organization, which is why right off the bat with JubyRev, JubyMax, I made the decision we're going to be a company that empowers leaders, because I don't have time to just go out and attract a bunch of leaders. I need to get a lot of leaders here, great. I need to start empowering new people to become leaders. And that became part of my personal vision here. Because with a question like this that scales, we're going to need a lot of leaders. How many of you, yeah, go back. Yeah. So in just a moment, I'll leave that slide up here for a minute. So my next slide is going to talk to you a little bit about the revenue sharing model, the power of the revenue sharing model. You've seen the power of the revenue sharing model? Yes? Did you see how Joe Average and Susie Average had an opportunity to earn? And here's what's great. All of a sudden, they're out, they're building, they're promoting, and they're not getting huge results, but they're getting some results or putting forth effort. You know, they're helping build the company's brand. Well, all of a sudden, they see a little bit coming back their way. They get excited. They get really excited. And then all of a sudden, that excitement empowers them that maybe you can do this. Okay? Have you seen the power of the revenue sharing model? Okay? Who all has seen the power of the revenue sharing model? Raise your hands. Okay? Now, the thing about the revenue sharing model is that it's so big, you need a really big company with a really big vision with really big products and services to be able to fill the shoes of this compensation plan. We have that. Everyday, ordinary, average people, Sue Average, Joe Average, they get an opportunity to actually come in here and promote and participate and earn. It is huge. And this is a system that can give ordinary people the opportunity to achieve the extraordinary. You know, everybody, I'm prepared for the fight. People are going to tell me, Josh, you can't use TEAM. Together, everybody achieves more. We've been hearing that since we were in 3rd grade. Well, I think some people need to hear it a little bit more, because I don't see any team at the top of Fortune 500 companies when only the top people are making all the money. I think that's together I achieve more. Am I right? See, I don't see TEAM at a lot of the big network marketing companies because only the top leaders are the ones making all the money. I think that stands for together I earn more. JubyRev, JubyMax, it's team. Together everyone achieves more. That's really what I want to be able to do. The way it works is, look over here on this picture. I want you to see this little cool picture. Man, whew, I want to learn how to do this someday. Everybody says, you know, when I retire, I'm going to learn something. I'm going to learn to sail, learn to golf. I'm going to learn to something. I'm going to learn how to make little cool widgets like this one right here. Look at that. You see what they're showing here is that the more promoters we get as a company, the more our company revenues grow, the more revenue we have to share. So you promote, you promote, you promote. You get a promoter, he promotes, you promote, you promote. We all promote, we promote, we promote. The company grows. We have more revenue to share. Now, what does that do for you? Let's take a peek. Let's make no mistake. I think it's healthy to consider I think it's healthy for all of us to consider what's in it for me, as long as it's not at the expense of other people. Now, that's something most people need to learn. But let's talk about you, because we want you to be successful. How do you benefit? Well, the more you promote by giving away samples, okay, of both our sample products, JubyBucks, etc., the more you promote, the more points you get. Pretty simple concept. Everybody with me so far? Now the question is, how big do you want your share to be? And I asked earlier, and everybody said, oh, I want a big share. So let me ask you, how big of a share do you want? Come on, everybody, say it. Huge, right? Okay. Now, here's how that works. The more you promote, the more points you earn, the bigger your share gets. Look at that handy slide. Isn't that awesome? I got to learn how to do that. Okay? Very simple. The more you promote, the more points you get. The more points you get, the bigger your share of our company daily revenues. Very, very simple compensation plan. Now, I have some people say, but Josh, could it really happen? It happens every day. I mean, if all of us were to go and live on the beach and teach scuba diving, which, by the way, is not a bad idea entirely. I'd like to take care of my family before I go do that. But if you and I, we were going to go to the beach and we lived in little huts, we could do that. We teach scuba diving. You come with me? We teach some scuba diving. If we all left the economy today, the internet and direct sales would still be producing millionaires every single day. The only question is, if we're not quite ready to go to the beach and teach scuba diving, why can't we be one? There's no reason why we can't be successful. Because the internet and direct sales have produced more millionaires than any other industry today working from home. No reason why you can't achieve your goals. The opportunity is absolutely there. Here's where most people fail. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of reasons why people fail. And probably more reasons than we have time to go through today. A lot of reasons why people fail. One of the reasons why people fail, though, is because they're in business for themselves and they're by themselves. How many of you have been lonely in your network marketing business before? Be honest with me. There is nothing so frustrating than the feeling of being all alone facing an insurmountable task. At JubyRev, JubyMax, you will never feel alone.